Psalm 23 verse 6 says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. I've been through to many ministries where this verse was quoted and the crowd erupted and they were praising God for this. But the thing is, that promise of goodness and mercy is in the context of lordship. It's in the context of surrender. When David was tending his father's sheep, he was a shepherd. And then God just downloaded a revelation in David's spirit that what he was to his father's sheep, God was to him. And he wrote the 23rd Psalm. And he said, the Lord is my shepherd. And because of that, I lack nothing. That promise in verse 6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. It's in the context of lordship. It's in the context of full surrender. But many of us believers want to experience the benefits of surrender without surrendering. It's in the context of surrender. Lordship. You cannot say, no, Lord. If he's not Lord over all, or of all, then he's not Lord at all. Surrender. Now, two examples. Two examples of people who actually surrendered to God unconditionally is Abram and Isaac, and then the three Hebrew brothers. God, after manifesting his promise to Abram and Sarah, God commanded Abram to sacrifice Isaac. Man, but that makes absolutely no sense. But look at Abram's response. Abram said, yeah, I am. Then God says, take your son, your only son, whom you love. He's clarifying. Your specific son, whom you love. Isaac, and go to a region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on the mountain, and I will show you. Early the next morning, obedience. Abram got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut through enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abram looked up and saw a place in the distance. He said to his servants, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will return to you. Amazing. That's a message there. Abram took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. Okay, but that's interesting. In Sunday school, we learned that Isaac was a little boy, a 5-year-old boy. It's actually not true. Many scholars believe, and there's evidence for this, that Isaac was at least a young adult in his 20s. And this, what Abram did here in verse 6, gives evidence to a certain degree of that. Or at least it totally crushes the understanding that Isaac was a 5-year-old boy. He says here, Abram took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son to carry up a mountain. Just a thought. And it says, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, Abram, Father, yes, my son, Abram replied. The fire and the wood are here, Isaac said, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abram answered, God himself, so prophetic, will provide. It's not something that's going to come from God. It's himself. It's profound. Jehovah Jireh, the Lord, my provider. Not what the Lord gives me to provide for me. The Lord himself, my provider. And the two of them went together. That's so interesting. In light of Isaac being a young adult, he has the ability to actually counter what his father said. He understood that his father was going to kill him. And he voluntarily laid his life down as a sacrifice. That blew my mind. He surrendered to God and the spiritual father that he was submitted to with no strings attached. That is incredible. That's incredible. And this is what God expects of us in terms of our relationship with him. The other example is the three Hebrew brothers, where the King Nebuchadnezzar built a golden image, and he commanded everyone to worship, to bow down and worship that golden image. These three brothers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused to do that. And they replied to the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, listen here, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it. Now listen, the next step, the next thing that comes reveals that there is no strings attached to their devotion and their surrender to him. He says, the God that we serve is able to deliver us from it. And he will deliver us from it, from your majesty's hand. Verse 18, but even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, respectful, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you have set up. That is surrendered to God, to the lordship of God, with no strings attached. They know the nature and the character of God was to save them, right? But then they throw this in to say, but even if it doesn't, my faith is not connected to the outcome of me not being toast. My faith is in the one. Are you seeing me? Are you seeing what God is saying? Not in the outcome, but in the person. And I believe the reason why God saved them was the fourth person was revealed. Christ was revealed in this matter. That's on God's heart for his character and his nature to be formed in us. I'm coming to a close. I'm going to, before I do a song that I wrote that has this theme, I just want to speak to you personally and encourage you with the last scripture in Psalm 46, verse 10. It says, be still and know that I am God. Be still. The original word means to let go. Let go and know that I am God. Let go of your devotion to a specific outcome manifesting and know that I am God. He is God. He is God. And the Lord showed me, Nigel, you actually served an idol. You served an idol. You served for the benefits. Even a blessing from God can become an idol if it replaces our relationship with God, if it nullifies or makes our relationship with God unnecessary. I don't need you because I have this. No. Anything that takes away our dependence from God is an idol, and it's from the enemy. I want to encourage you today to let go. Let go of that outcome that you've been holding on to. And let me tell you, when you let go of that, God is not just saying let go. He's saying let go in order to hold on to me. Let go of your desire for healing in that sense, but take hold of me, the healer. He wants you to be healed. And because he wants you to be healed, he wants you to take hold of him, the healer. Please see this. My message would have been totally different, but the Lord said there's someone that needs to hear this. There are people that needs to hear this. They are holding on to the wrong thing. They're holding on to something that's a benefit that I want for them, but it's not how they're going to manifest it. They're going to be disappointed. Hold on to me. Put your faith in me. Seek me. And you will see the expression of goodness and mercy that you need in this particular time in your life. Those who are sick, the expression of goodness and mercy that will follow you as you follow the shepherd is healing. If it's financial breakthrough that you need, if it's a loved one that needs to come into the kingdom, keep on focusing on the shepherd. Your back is towards goodness and mercy because it's supposed to follow you. You are not supposed to follow it. Then that's your God. That's your Lord. Then goodness and mercy is your shepherd, not the Lord. Make the Lord your God.